In the previous section, we talked about the security of email. Now it's time to discuss the security of another communication tool that is often starting to replace email, especially in personal life. Note that you are very likely using more than one messaging app in your life. It is possible that it is Telegram, at least WhatsApp, and that some continue to use the messaging services from the banned social network Facebook in Russia. Some people use Viber, some use Signal, and some use Telegram. In fact, there are a huge number of such messaging apps today. Probably, there are at least a dozen different messaging apps developed in Russia. If we include foreign messaging apps, the number of such apps will exceed 20. It has turned out that different messaging apps are familiar to different target audiences and individuals, which is why we use many of them. And now it is time to talk about what general rules for protecting communication in messaging apps exist. Of course, this topic is quite extensive and depends on which specific messenger we choose, but there are some general tips that I would like to draw attention to. Well, don't forget the same recommendations that I have already mentioned regarding email protection. Secondly, of course, enable multi-factor authentication, because otherwise your account on Telegram or WhatsApp or any other messaging app can easily be hijacked, allowing someone to send messages to all your friends and relatives asking for money until your scholarship or salary arrives, or to do this or that. If you are a boss, they could impersonate you to your subordinates and force them to do things that would harm your company or your reputation, and so on and so forth. That is, multi-factor authentication, seemingly just 2 words, conceals a very high level of security across completely different services that we examine in this personal cybersecurity course, and messaging apps are no exception. Recently, a very popular attack known as the fake boss attack has emerged. What does this mean? Well, I think you have certainly heard about the so-called calls from the security service of one bank or another. This is a scheme that was used by fraudsters a year or 2 ago. Recently, it has been fading away because we all know about it well, and when we receive a call from someone who claims to be a bank employee asking for a one-time code, requesting a password, and so on, even though they possess truly confidential information about our account balances, card numbers, and so forth. We understand that it is most likely a scammer because no bank employee or any credit organization would ever ask you to provide your password, except perhaps for a code word, and they certainly wouldn't ask you to provide one-time codes. And this alone should be a trigger for you that you are being spoken to by scammers. However, such attacks are still happening with messaging apps. They are carried out very simply. Typically, it is a multi-step combination. At first, you receive a message from an account that closely resembles your boss. There is usually the same avatar as the one they have, and they are also subscribed, and perhaps they even have conversations with you, corresponding in exactly the same way as they do in real life. It all depends on how long the scammers have studied you as a victim and your surroundings. Fraudsters can also gain access to your boss's voice messages and, using various voice synthesis programs, create a fake voice message and send it to you through messaging apps. And in this message, you will be told that representatives from law enforcement, the Internal Affairs Agency, the Federal Security Service, the tax office, or some other agency will contact you, and you need to provide assistance. And this kind of scheme is quite effective today, and indeed, users often fall for it because they think that since they received a message or a voice note from someone pretending to be their boss, that person definitely knows what needs to be done. But this is the same scheme involving a call and the bank's security service, only transferred to messaging apps. Therefore, the recommendations here will be the same: critical thinking. And if you are asked to do something that could cost you money or your property, always call back to confirm whether it was really your boss. It may turn out that it was not them at all. Either someone has hacked his account, or they have created an account similar to his. Always double check. Otherwise, you will have to bite your elbows for not taking what seems to be the simplest, quick check that could have protected you, your property, your money, and your loved ones from harm. And, of course, check the settings of your messaging apps. There are always a considerable number of security settings available that allow you to enable encryption, activate contact verification, and receive security notifications if someone tries to access your account. Regularly check your security settings and see how many devices are connected to your account regularly. For example, if you use Telegram on your smartphone, tablet, and laptop, you should not have more than 3 devices connected to your account. If a 4th or 5th device connects, it means that someone has accessed your Telegram. It might have been you, and you simply forgot that you still have an active session on your previous device. It is worth disabling it. If you are using the web version of a messenger, such as Web WhatsApp, be sure to pay attention and never leave your smartphones or tablets unattended. In this case, an attacker who gains access to your smartphone for just a few minutes and connect the web version of the messenger in your name to their personal device, such as their laptop, or to their own tablet or smartphone, and read all your messages. Therefore, keep an eye on who is connecting to your account and regularly check the devices you use to communicate through messaging apps. And also pay attention to one more important detail that we often forget. If you turn your smartphone in your hands, you will notice that there is a slot on the side where the SIM card is inserted. Yes, today there are electronic SIM cards that are not inserted anywhere, but are simply downloaded onto a smartphone, though this is not that important. Protect your SIM card. This is a very important matter, comparable to the recommendation to secure your email. Because if someone has managed to gain access to your phone number or your SIM card in one way or another, it means they have complete control over the second part of your virtual life, which is linked not to your email, but to your phone number. This is because one-time codes from internet banking, government services, and many other authentication services are often tied to your phone number, which send you confirmation methods in the form of SMS, MMS, push notifications, or other means connected to your phone number. Creating a copy or clone of a SIM card today is actually not that difficult. To do this, a fraudster needs either to get hold of your mobile device or to contact the mobile operator with a fake authorization. If an employee of the mobile network operator is either unscrupulous or does not thoroughly check who presents certain powers of attorney, they may issue a copy of the SIM card to fraudsters. They will connect your phone number to their device and will be able to either read all your messages or access all your services linked to your phone number. Therefore, the simplest recommendation that I suggest you follow right now, or at least by the end of this course, is to go to the nearest branch of your mobile service provider and submit a request to prohibit the replacement of your SIM card without your personal presence, so that it cannot be done by any power of attorney. If the operator offers you this option online through your personal account, then it will be easier for you, and you won't have to go anywhere. But this is a very simple, yet very important recommendation that will protect you from losing part of your life in the virtual world. Perhaps you should consider disconnecting your services from your mobile phone number altogether. Well, where it is possible, of course, and where you have another reliable way to confirm your authenticity. It may be an email. But then you will have to pay more attention to the email. It could be something else. Again, it's up to your discretion. But pay attention to whether your protection is physical or through an electronic SIM card. This is a very important tool for protecting your personal information.